What's going on, traders? Yes, the market just took a major step down, and a lot of this coming off some breaking news in technology. How you can find out? Stick right here. Hit the like button, and let's get to it. Live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, traders, let's get to the action. Let's see what we can come up with today. I'm ready to get to the stocks. You guys out there, let me know what's your top stock to trade today. Let's get to the action. Let's bring on, of course, Ryan Faloona. We'll be taking a look and see what's going on in the market. Today, we are getting a little bit of some breaking news to come in. It just came in recently, really coming in on NVIDIA, as we are seeing a takedown attempt, it seems like, in technology. And this is what I mean by being on the wrong side of the news sometimes. And this is exactly how it can be. Yesterday was a tech day. And today, NVIDIA just getting whacked. And a lot of this coming in with what happened here. Of course, it looks like we are getting some kind of breaking news to come in. And it's all based on U.S. officials saying that a new rule to restrict the exports of chips to foreign units of companies headquartered in China, Macau, and other countries. Most chips for consumer applications, such as kind of gaming, you got smartphones being affected, laptops can proceed without licensing, but certain things are going to definitely be having to have that licensing. And I think that where this really is going to be coming into is AI. Really, I don't think the US wants to have China into AI. They don't want to give them the advantage. They don't want to give them any ability to kind of create more and more from AI. They want the US to be in the forefront. This also goes into play with high-powered chips overall. We just are trying to kind of stranglehold China a little bit and trying to restrict them from these technologies. Of course, what will probably happen? A battle back. And this is why I think the relationships between the US and China is really, really probably at its worst than I've seen it, at least in my trading career. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. And I think in the long run, there's going to be more and more battle back. You restrict us, we'll restrict you. That kind of game. All right, let's get to the stock market action. We'll see what happens today. I'll be kind of watching these stocks to kind of maybe get short on some tech names today. I think a lot of this, I'm going to need to see a little bounce out the gates. I can't just jump out these right now because they're already down a significant amount, but can I look for moves quickly to the VWAP and then fading off of that? That's kind of what I'll be looking for. I'll also be looking for attempts towards hourly resistance and then rejecting that. Kind of green to red type of trade today. I think a lot of traders are probably caught on the wrong side of this trade because they were just seeing tech kind of lifting and they were thinking we were having a nice little uplift in tech. Well, there you guys see it just as quickly as this news comes in that the stocks start to turn around. So we'll see what happens there. Let's go to the overall market. Let's catch up what Ryan Faloona is taking a look at. And you guys in the chat, throw up those stock tickers. We'll definitely take a look.
All right, well, taking a look at the SPY here, Mitch, you can see that the SPY is actually sinking with that news here for NVIDIA, right? So SPY really kind of coming in here in the pre-market. It'll be really interesting to see where we go when the market actually opens. Yesterday, we totally ran up to this 436.50 area, and we kind of stopped there. Mitch, I'm sorry, you're going to have to give me 1 second. I got an emergency here.
You're good, my friend. I got you. I'll handle that. No worries. There you go. Let's get to the action here. We'll see what else is going on, guys. And definitely let's get after it. I'm putting up my stock chart right here. Let's see what we can get into, guys. And if you guys have some smaller names, go ahead and mention them. I'll bring in some news today. I talked about the retail area, right? XRT. Right? XRT is retail. It got a nice day yesterday. So I'm going to continue to watch some of these retail names to see if they can go higher. Why do I feel this? This is seasonality coming into play. Of course, we had a strong day yesterday, so we could get a little bit of a pullback. But today, Goldman Sachs is playing this play, I feel like 100%. What do they do today? They come out with an upgrade on Dollar Tree, right? So keep your eyes to see if maybe this can start to turn around these weak dollar names. Ollie Bargain also coming in here and getting an upgrade by Goldman Sachs to buy. And this had just recently just made a move towards the support. So let's see if this turns around and gets an up move. Retail stocks overall, I'll continue to watch them. Starbucks, names like this, Best Buy, I think could get a little bit of a lift as it's been beaten down for 2 months. I'm looking for retail names that have been beaten down for like 2 or 3 months and now looking to reverse into some seasonality. Does this mean that it's going back all the way to the highs? No, by no means. But seasonality is real, right? Seasonality comes into play with stocks all the time. Holiday season starting to kick off. We know how it comes after this, right? As soon as you get through Halloween, what do you start looking at? Black Friday sales, and then holiday sales after that, Christmas sales, things like that. So we'll see what happens with these retail stocks. I think they could get a just seasonal lift for like a month or two and then really get the next smackdown. So this is how stocks go too, right? Because things change. Right now, I think we get a lift and then the hit. So that's
and real quickly, don't forget Amazon kind of extending that by having this Prime Day in the middle or the beginning of October, really kind of extending that season out here. I'm with you. I think you might see a near-term bump here, but I maintain that the customer is going to be weak through the holiday season, and we're likely to see depressed numbers because of that.
That'd be interesting, Ryan. And honestly, I think that we're going to get tricked a little bit by the numbers. How? I talked about this yesterday because of inflation. Revenues will seem like they hit the number, but really what we need to be paying attention is volume of items sold. That's going to tell us more and more if it's just an inflation boost, right? Because prices go so high that as we buy those high priced items, it might seem like the revenues match. But really what's happening is it's lower demand that's out there, but higher prices. So that's one thing that could be a little bit of a trick in the game. How can you look into this? Well, you'll be wanting to watch the margins, operating margins, things like that. That's going to show you more and more what's going on underneath the hood. All right, Ryan, you ready to get back to the market here? I got you, man. No worries. And you're on mute just to help you out.
Yep, I'm sorry about that. But all right, so let's take a look back at the SPY. We saw that the SPY is sinking now, surging rates, NVIDIA news, SPY moving down here. You can see that this 436.44 or 47 level that we've had outlined for quite a bit is clearly coming into play. It is acting as resistance. I suspect we kind of turn back over and trade back down to the sideways shaded area, or this purple shaded area. We're about 3 points away from the 20-day moving average, which I have at 430.30. I think I have the top of this purple shaded area at 431 thereabouts. So we're only 2.5 points away from where we currently sit. I would imagine this is probably where we go here today on the SPY. But just like yesterday, we'll wait and see where this ends up closing. I generally don't make too much of the candle until the daily candle, that is, until the candle closes. To me, sure looks like we're going lower here after that brief little run up. So we'll see if that's the case. I do have some small stocks that we want to talk about here today. These are likely going to play into some of the trades here today. First one that we're going to start with is Wyndham Resorts, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. We've got a why is it moving here. Wyndham Hotels and Resorts shares are trading higher after Choice Hotels proposed to acquire the company for $90 per share, payable in a mix of cash and stock. This is a hostile takeover. There's nothing that's been approved. There's likely to be some back and forth here. This stock might still be in play. Some of these mergers and acquisitions we've seen, it's a done deal, right? The company said, we're going to buy this company. Both parties say, we agree. And then the difference in the buyout price and the current price is simply the risk that the deal falls through for whatever reason. In this case, we don't have an accepted deal here, so we might have some back and forth. I don't really think anyone else is going to join this bidding war, but let's see what the headlines create. We might have an opportunity here on ticker WH, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. Now, as far as some of the smaller stocks here, we got several of them here this morning, so likely to have a fairly decent day. First one here is going to be SPRC. This is SciSpark. Stock's up 184% right now, just above an 8 handle. You can see we've taken several legs up in the pre-market today after getting some of the movement in the after hours yesterday. We flip over to the news here. You can see that they regained compliance with NASDAQ minimum bid price, and Aegeus Capital acted as an exclusive placement agent on $5 million private placement for SciSpark. It's these PRs that are likely kind of driving this here today. I know this news came out yesterday. We seem to have a little bit of a delayed reaction. Now, the movement itself seems to just kind of be a momentum move here. So I think we should be okay using technicals to try and trade this as long as that volume sticks around there. We saw what the volume does to some of these smaller names. We saw it yesterday. We should see it again here. SPRC on deck here today. Next, I'm actually going to go to TUP. One of the reasons I'm going to go to TUP is because this took a huge leg up. We've traded TUP. We don't even need to go into this a whole lot. We've traded this quite a bit in the past. It's moving again here today. The interesting thing about TUP here is we've actually kind of rejected off this 260 spot. We've come back beneath the VWAP, but it looks like it's trying to kind of trade sideways here. Looks like we might get a curl move here. So let's make sure that this low holds. I'm not going to take any trades in the pre-market. I know that several people in the chat here, you guys are all about the pre-market. For me, that's a risk-off zone. I just don't do it. So I'm going to wait for the market to open here, but we've got a potential curl here on TUP early on. Potential trade here on a curl back to and hopefully through the VWAP. So keep that in mind. Next one on the list here is going to be ASMB. This is Assembly Bioscience. This was a penny stock yesterday, and it's $1.46 here today. This stock had a piece of news, popped as high as $2.35. We've bled back, and we've actually used the VWAP as resistance. So that's going to be the first sentiment change. If we can get above this VWAP, things can start changing for ASMB. Right now, really looks like we're kind of bleeding back some of those gains. If we go to the news here, you could say Gilead and Assembly Biosciences established partnership to develop next-generation therapeutics for serious viral diseases. So it looks like you're getting a partnership there with a major player. Under Gilead Sciences, Assembly Biosciences have announced a 12-year partnership for antiviral therapies with an initial focus on Assembly Bio's herpes virus, hepatitis B virus, hepatitis D virus, and Assembly Bio to receive $100 million upfront. So this is probably the key part of this here. A lot of these smaller companies, given the interest rate environment that we find ourselves in, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to raise money. Who wants to take a loan with the interest rates as high as they are? This is crippling for small business. So having a $100 million upfront payment here from Gilead, likely a huge reason for this pop here today. Under the partnership terms, Assembly Bio's $100 million from Gilead consists of 84.4 upfront payment and 15.2 equity investment from Gilead at a premium of 19.9%. So it gives you a little bit further breakdown on that premium. ASMB in play here today. This one, I want to wait on. We just talked about TUP having a potential curl formation on the chart and might be good right out of the gate here. The way I see it, at least with the information that we have now, ASMB, the opposite of that. I want to wait for this to confirm that we have an upside move and that we're not just going to kind of trade around here or maybe even bleed back more of the gains that we've had off that initial stick. I'd love to see a sideways trade here. I'd love to see some consolidation. I'd love to see some flushing of the weak hands and then a move back to and through VWAP. If we can do that on volume, that sets up for a pretty decent trade here on ASMB. So another one to keep your eyes on here today. We already talked about TUP. We talked a little bit yesterday about that Bitcoin thing. What's going on with CIR here? Jumps after winning all regulatory approvals for sale to KKR. Okay, so that looks like that's going to be a buyout that was approved. And then we have a whole bunch of the ETFs that track the Qs, the semiconductors, the S&P 500, all of those back and forth. And then finally, we get down to TPST. Now, TPST, we traded this yesterday. We talked about this yesterday. Well, I didn't trade it, but you guys did an absolutely amazing job on this yesterday. This stock just an absolutely huge run. If you recall, in fact, I can go pull it up on my other chart, but we were basically looking at a triangle move right in here. This thing absolutely went crazy afterwards, and we've actually held those gains up. So let's see where we end up going here today. Topside break here. I've got like 745, but realistically, that area between 745 and 750 likely to get this thing juiced if we can move through it. I'll be honest, I'm surprised that this is up again, but we play the hand that we're dealt. So let's see if TPST sets up for us. Now that's all I had from my list here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over to my, here's the triangle that we were talking about yesterday. Just the move out of this formation here. This was monster for the trade. So I absolutely love seeing our chat community banking on something. This was great to see here yesterday. Great to see here yesterday. Okay. Got a couple of stocks here from the chat. Good morning, Smoke Tuna. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Gil, Lynn, Jeremy. Yeah, I've never seen Jeremy spelled like that. Good morning, Jeremy, Becca, Shannon, Eldon, Jennifer, Andy, Nadav, Market Sniper. We got Rick, Ben, Beach Bum. I mean, we got Whisk, Carmen. We got pretty much everyone here today. Jay, good morning as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and go through some of the other stocks that you folks had. Smoke Tuna, we already covered TPST. Let's take a look here at BNOX. This was another former runner for us. Let's see if this is setting up here today. Had a nice little slow grind higher yesterday. We were higher here in the pre-market. I'm not sure why we didn't have any fresh news on BNOX, did we? No, I don't see anything fresh here today on BNOX. Decent job holding this area. I mean, we are technically beneath the VWAP right now. I would be worried if we break down. Let's wait for this to kind of firm up here a little bit. We get some firm up on BNOX. Maybe we'll have an open trade here. I missed a call out to Ben. No, nice try. I know what you're trying to do. I actually said Ben. I intentionally don't say his full name so that I don't get clipped and then have that played back at me in a bunch of embarrassing ways. So I was born at night, but not last night. So we're good there. Anyway, BNOX. Oh, Voodoo's back. Let's go. BNOX in play here today. We'll see where we end up going. Sorry, I'm getting blown up there. I'll go ahead and mute those. MREO was the other one that you were mentioning. I love how much fun you folks are having here this morning. That is a really good sign for today, I'll be honest. Bringing the energy early here. MREO. The interesting thing here, obviously we popped, this was yesterday, we popped in the pre-market. We did get some movement here in the regular session. The good news here is that this just didn't completely flop, right? We're holding some of these gains. We never really attacked that high, but that's okay. We never really attacked that low. We certainly didn't break down. Move through the VWAP here. This sets up pretty well. I expect to see some resistance at 170. I wouldn't be surprised to see some at 175, 176, and I'm certainly going to see some at 190 if we get there. So MREO, this was not on my list. Smoke Tuna, great spot here today. We'll see if we end up getting a trade here. Anyway, it's good to see you. Okay. Dave, I want to go over some of your shorts because I'm looking at that too. I suspect that this weakness kind of carries through the session here today, and maybe we can extend some of those downside gains. I know that sounds weird, but if we open up a short, we'll get gains as things move to the downside. You have a couple of targets here that you're mentioning early. Let's start with Affirmed. This was good to us the last time that we shorted this. Looks weak here. To me, if I recall correctly, the last time that this thing really looked weak out of the gate, yep, here it was, right? This was the day. We really kind of moved down out of the gate. So that was, I guess there was a better short opportunity here as that one kind of bled and then worked into a multi-day trade here. But we might actually be able to trade this right out of the gate here on Affirm. We might. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. This is going to be one of the stocks that I watch. In fact, let me go ahead and pull up Affirmed in Trade the Pool right now because that's where I would execute that trade. Looks like in the pre-market, it's trying to bounce back to the VWAP. That would be great. Let's see how this actually reacts when the market opens. The other one that you had was WFC. That's Wells Fargo. All right. So we did have a bunch of bank earnings here today. And looking, Goldman Sachs is lower. I'd actually have to go to how much time do we have here? We're pushing it. We're pushing it here. We're real close. So we had Lockheed Martin, Goldman Sachs. We have Bank of America, which is actually still up, although that's flat. That's bled back some of its gains. That would have been the banks there. So interesting note here. Wells Fargo, you're looking to short. Now, when was their earnings? So let me go. I'm getting mixed up here. Wells Fargo, if we go to calendar earnings, it should tell us we are... we had it already. We had Wells Fargo. We had them already on the 13th. Love that. Earnings out of the way here. That could be really good. Looking for another potential short here on Wells Fargo. Dave, you got a really good eye for some of these shorts. I like both these setups here today. We'll see if any of these materialize. Let me go ahead and bring up my broker here so we can actually watch the time here. 30 seconds until the market opens. Let's see if there was anything else in here. AIHS from Carmen. Let's see what she's got for us here today. AIHS is a penny stock for you penny players. I will pass on this one. Talk fast, Chad. I want people to be able to understand me, but I will definitely try and talk faster here. Okay. Same with our short at VWAP over yesterday's high, stop over yesterday's high. Okay. So there's the plan there, right? There's the plan. Short at VWAP on both of these, close or stop over yesterday's high. Market is open. Let's go. Mitch is back and muted.
Ding, ding. Let's get after it, team. All right, guys, going to be looking also at equipment stock makers like, let's say, AMAT, things like that, ASML.
All right, opened up a short here on Affirmed. We came right back to the VWAP. We're going to follow the exact. Oh, you know what? I don't have my thing on here, Mitch. I'm sorry about that. Let me go ahead and add this here real quick. It's my fault, Mitch. I
forgot my orange juice. That was me.
Okay, I'll take that then. All right, so plan here was to have this go back to the VWAP. Well, we took a short there. Stop over, Dave at least was saying, stop over yesterday's intraday high. That's about 35 cents from here. I guess we'll see. This is a starter position, really only 100 shares here. We'll see. I'd be tempted to add to this if we really struggle to get above 19. I mean, this looks pretty good out the gate. We'll see if anything turns around here. Oh, and by the way, I know now I am talking fast, Shannon. By the way, what we said about TUP, I got distracted with the siren short sell call here. TUP here, this did move right out of the gate, right to the VWAP. Looks like it's trying to push here. TUP looking good early on here. I'm going to focus in on this Affirm trade because this is not going well so far. Might have opened this a little too early. See if we can add to this short and get a better price here. We'll see if it can get above this 1889. That was where it stopped in the pre-market, I believe. Yep, and there's some size there on the level 2. We'll see if it takes that out.
Trying to get a little push here in tech, but it's going down. TPST also going down. I was looking at that potentially to short it today, but we'll see what happens, guys. I did throw up a little bit of a poll in the chat here, so let's see what you guys thought would be the top leader from some of these penny names today, and looks like the top one there is TUP. So
added to the Affirm short here, we're now short 200 shares.
All right, we'll see what happens there. The chat saying Tuppity Tup will be the top mover of the day. TPST in second place, 39%. SPRO in 17%, 79 votes there. We'll see what happens.
SPRC, I believe.
SPRC, there you go. You got it. All right, TPST now down to 630s. Man, that thing's taking a hit there. We'll see what happens on the Qs. Qs are starting to bounce a little bit here. I'm looking for names to get short, but really I need a little bit of a bounce. Not seeing a much bounce there. It was a small bounce at Intel, now already going down here. Apple overall, also small bounce to 177, starting to come down here. So stocks has just take off to 1125s. I'm looking for pullbacks on that, but it's just been on a takeoff there. So hard to kind of come in and play that right now. TQQQ. Looking at that, that's starting to come down here. That could be a short. See what happens. SQQQ is already going to 1928s. I still need some kind of pullback there, but definitely seeing technology take a hit today. I'll look to see what else goes into the red. Energy leading to the upside. So if you're looking for upside moves, I like Chevron. Chevron, nice little rip out the gates here. I'll look for pullbacks on Chevron. Looking around, TLT going lower. That's not a good thing for the markets either. Chevron will look for a pullback back towards 165.50s, 165.70s, somewhere in between there. KRE going up. How's the XRT today? Retail getting a little spike there, so not doing too bad. Guys, smash the like out there, guys. We only got 75 likes, yet we got 400 of you guys, over 400 of you guys here. Come on, smash it up, guys. Trading live in front of you guys for absolutely free here. And there is something that I'll be talking about just coming up here. You guys see it in the chat, the link at least for the trading competition coming up. But we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit here as we focus on trying to nail a trade or two here out the gates. XRT trying to go towards 60-50s. So those stocks actually not doing too bad. Amazon down a significant amount here. We'll see what happens on that. Starbucks, nice little push higher. Retail stocks focused on that, like Best Buy, names like that, I think could continue to push. Of course, if the market drags too much today, that could bring us back towards the red action. We'll see what happens right now. Just trying to find what type of trades to kind of come after right now. Hendricks, I need you to lay, buddy. Need to be able to see the stocks. All right, looking around, team, trying to find what's the best trades right now. Bank of America kind of made a little bit of an up move, now coming back down. We'll see if these get hit today. Definitely focusing also on Goldman Sachs again. We'll see what happens.
Real quick, Affirm did come back into that VWAP. Now it's trying to bounce here. We'll see where this ends up going. Remember, we added a little bit higher here on Affirm. Oh, here, let me go ahead and get rid of this. Why? There we go.
Don't worry.
There we go. Nobody was worried. Mitch is here. Nobody was worried. So anyway, Affirm, we'll see if we can end up breaking back down here. We added on the way up here. Sure feels like we're going to break back down here. So we'll kind of just waiting for this trade to go green. Feel okay with it. Another trade that I'm interested in, this was generated from the happy hour 13. If you're out there, please go ahead and take credit. POW, take a look at POW here. Let's start on the daily chart here. All right. This chart on POW pushed up here to this 250 area, back in, try to do it again. Now it looks like this is a breakout on this time frame. The hourly chart looks good as well. This is ammo.com. I look for ammo shortages to start up going into next year. I personally think the summer next year is going to be absolutely nuts. We saw it in 2020. I think it's going to be even worse in 2024 leading up to the election in the fall. I would not be surprised to see ammo really kind of go through a price increase. I think we'll be able to play that via POW here. This I actually like swing long. So have some of this in my main account. Shout out again to the happy hour crew for kind of going over this one. So we'll see here on POW. Let me go back to Affirm as we have an active short trade there. Firm looked like it's trying to bounce off this VWAP. We'll see how high it gets. Voodoo, it's great to see you, my man. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well.
FAZ starting to come up here. Do I go after it again here, team? Ooh, that's the hard one. Taking also a look at Goldman Sachs here. We'll see what happens on those names.
Oh, Voodoo, no wonder we haven't seen you. Bought a boat, took the summer off. You know what? That sounds awesome. And congratulations. I bet you had a great summer on that boat. Is it Captain Voodoo now? Is that the new name? You let us know. That is awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Looking for an attempt move to the upside, and then I'll start getting short some names. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So I would love to see a little bit of a spike here and then just get smacked. So stocks haven't come back to their VWAP. A lot of these names, like NVIDIA and names like that, I'm going to look for them to come back for their VWAP and then get smacked.
Affirmed trying to go over yesterday's high here, 1903. Looks like we spiked there. Move to 1903. Might have to actually close this short here. 1902, the high print here for today. Firm creeping back up there, man. We will see where this is going here on Affirmed. Oh,
All right.
yeah, Dave. No, we calm here.
Airbnb, I'd be a little bit careful for the time being. I think that you're getting some seasonality coming into play. It's getting a spike, right? And I think that I would not be in anything consumer to the downside right now, but that's just my outlook, just because I'm expecting to see seasonality come into play. Eldon, it does come into play also with lodging, anything leisure related, probably also. I'm looking to see maybe it gets a little bit of a spike, like even CCL. Look at the spike that you're seeing today. From about 1226 to 1240s here. So that just goes to show me that, yeah, we could start seeing that retail get the lift there. So I wouldn't be fighting those names to the downside right now. I think they could get a lift. I talked about it just this morning, EKS, Macy's, and KSS on my radar today. Nice little lift off there already in Macy's. So looking for pullbacks in that, let's say closer towards 11. I'll take a shot there on Macy's if it starts to come back. But those are retail names. And I think that those are the ones that I could be looking at here. 1050 was the support on Macy's, now just lifted through 11s, got up there to 1120s. I even saw someone in the chat talk about it on pre-market prep that they were going after Macy's already. So, hey, shout out to whoever that was. I'm sure they made a gain already.
A firm still ripping here. This short not working, unfortunately. Set some new highs here. We'll see if they come back in. If this just holds here, so we're coming back in. Let's see if we plunge back in here. If this holds and starts to move higher here, we're just going to take the L on this one and move on. Thankfully, we booked gains yesterday, and we're doing pretty good so far this week. So not really a huge deal here. This trade, a firm absolute rocket ship to the upside out of the gate here. We tried to short into that and add to that. Do not want to get two on one side of this trade here. Dave, looks like you were out of firm. Did not work. I will let you know when I close mine here. Hopefully this comes back in. Not to not to do the opposite here of what you were doing.
TLT going lower. Looking for a little bit of an attempted up move in the banks, but still not getting it. So not short there yet. I wanted ASML, but spread's too wide for me to come after it on Trade the Pool. It needs to get up there to 593s. Looking around, team. Looking for some pullback action here. IWM going big to the upside. I will tell you guys that at least. IWM, big move to the upside. That doesn't look too bad there. That means smaller names. That's
hurting my Affirm trade. There's no question about it.
That means smaller names.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. Volume's good here too on Affirm. It feels like it wants to just come back in here, but we'll see. We'll see if it does. Over yesterday's high, we're going back into the.
Only thing red from the open is technology.
Man, we'll see. We'll try to be a little bit more patient here.
Bank of America now starting to go red.
Goldman Sachs still red, although that's flirting with red-green here.
Yeah, I would love an attempt towards 314s. If I could get in somewhere close to that, I don't mind it risking off the top here, but I need to get closer towards 314.
Affirm, just no chill in this stock. It is not coming back in at all. Let's see. ASMB did move back to that VWAP. It was unable to get over it. I still got one eye on Affirmed here. Really want this to roll over. Got some shorts out for
Goldman Sachs. I'll see if I get a pop bill. Putting them above the offer right now. Q's heading downward now. It looks like a drag there. Microsoft rejecting VWAP 330s. That looks like a short opportunity, at least for me right now. Meta's been so strong. We'll see if Meta comes back up here. Tesla dragging also. That could be a situation that doesn't look good on the downturn here going into the earnings. We'll see if it's able to hold. Of course, a lot of people watching Tesla as their earnings come later in the week. Will it take another hit down through the 249 spot now? That's something that I'm keeping an eye out for.
TPST looks like this is halted to the upside, isn't it? Yes, sir. Halted to the upside. TPST moved down and popped on volume. We are halted to the upside. TPST, no position.
That's a scary one because I was actually looking for 7 and above to get short. So I think it could actually maybe even open up and then eventually halt back down.
I was going to say it'll be very
careful
interesting to see where that stock opens out of this halt.
Exactly.
Firm
right,
coming
guys.
off those highs really need this to start breaking down here.
One way to play maybe a continued downside action in the market today, SPXS. Now you're talking leverage SPY to the bear side. And so this actually looks interesting off the 517 support VWAP there. Nice little bounce off of that level. We'll look to see if it goes back up to 1527s. Just keeping an eye on that.
Dan, good to see you this morning. Looking for here. Let me just get this here. Looking for SPRC to dip under 7 and then reclaim. That looks pretty good here. That would put us right under this VWAP, right here near the top of this other leg up that we had in the pre-market here today. Reclaim that VWAP, which is what you're looking for after that, and then maybe a move towards the highs here. Dan, we'll see if we end up getting that SPRC.
All right, starting to see if we're going to get a crush down now. That's starting to look a lot better for the crush down. The Q's going lower. I'll see if it starts to get real bearish here.
Okay, well that, I'll tell you what, I will take a crush down at this point. Affirmed already higher than I had possibly hoped this for. I'll say this, 1923, your day high. If we break that again to the upside here, I'm going to have to close this trade, unfortunately. The market feels like, we kind of had this little push right out of the open, but maybe we go lower here. Looking at the Qs or the NASDAQ, we're going lower. The charts on the indices look like they want to go lower. Hopefully they take the stock with it. We'll see, though. But Affirm here on these last dip, getting bought right back up to the high, definitely a sign of strength here. Can only hold this for so long as the trade moves against me. We'll see if we can get Affirm to come back to the VWAP here and maybe plunge through the VWAP. See if maybe we can even add and get our cost basis to be better. We shall see.
Industrial is doing well. That shows signs that they're going for low PE names. Lockheed Martin getting a little bit of a move up. So defensive area getting a lift. And how do I definitely know this? Look at Boeing. Nice little push up there, 187. So industrials don't look too bad today. Energy doesn't look too bad. Basic materials. There's not much there, but coal names starting to get a little bit of a bounce. Of course, with oil, BTU's one to watch for a nice little break above 26. That doesn't look too bad right now. But we'll see what happens there.
All right, up here. Let me put my screen up here. Sorry. We'll take a look. Oh, there's Mitch. Let me remove this. Get this one on here. There we go. So Affirmed again, another pullback here. Just not cracking. Really just not cracking. So a move over to this 1923 at this point. This is definitely, we'll book this for a loss. Hopefully we come back in here. Hopefully the market pulls. What do we got? That 945 reversal, 1015 reversal. What kind of reversal are you looking for here, Mitch? I could sure use one.
Not looking for it, man. But you're in different areas, man. You're in an area that's going up. Everything else, a lot of the market coming down here. So I would kind of just stick with what you're seeing on the charts, right? Let's say I'm in tech. I'm playing tech downside. That's the area that's red. Everywhere else is kind of in that green side. So if you're in those sides, you got to be careful out there. Tech, red, that's what I'm looking for. AVGO, just let go there. ASML is another one that I'm thinking about getting into, but the spreads on these are very hard. So the scalps makes sense there. Semiconductor bloodbath, exactly what I'm showing, exactly what I'm looking for. Chevron on pullbacks, I like it, but it's a little bit too high now for me. I need to pull back below this 166, going to 165.75s. But Chevron's the best looking chart for me right now. I talked about this on Start Swing Trade for a nice little up move in oil. I kind of like this. If it gets towards 170, 171, oh, it's going to be looking really nice on the chart. So we'll see what happens there on Chevron.
Real quick here, Staff Sergeant Ryan, good to see you here this morning. Ryan, Mitch, BA with a possible double bottom setup. So this is what we're looking at here on the daily. Really, really close here at that double bottom, 82.50. I like that. I like this area. I know that you're a long-term holder, so I don't think I'd change anything if we violate that level. But I do like this for a potential new trade. Real quick here, TPST is open, moving higher. We're above that 7 level now. They actually just brought in a bid at 710. That looks like that is trying to move higher. I got the high print there, 720 on TPST. Let me go ahead and actually bring that up here real fast. All right, here's your TPST. Yeah, take your time, Mitch. We got a lot going on here, so I should be able to hold the fort down. TPST moving higher here, 730. This thing has just been a huge mover every day. Watch out if this breaks the 740 and takes the top off here. I do see some big sells being brought in here on the tape. Some size there at 727 on the offer. So we'll see if this can get dragged down here. If it takes some of those things out, this is going to continue to have upside momentum. Taking a look at Affirmed real quick here. How do I get this on this screen when Mitch is gone? I'm not really sure. I'll just do this in the time being. So looking at Affirmed here, we are trying to roll back over. The next spot here is going to be a test of this VWAP, and then maybe the VWAP plunge to the bottom, or excuse me, a break through the VWAP, and then hopefully a plunge. We'll see if we end up getting that. Come on in, Affirmed. Come on in. Give us that. Give us that. We held through this. Give us that. Real quick, I smoke tuna here. I'm going to go over this, but you're better at trading this than I am. That is for sure. TPST could go to 11 if it can hold. It is super risky, though, giving you that right there. Affirm, nice. We're back to the VWAP here. Let's see if we can continue to break back down. That's what we want to see on Affirmed. Take a look at Tup. Tup still holding out by the VWAP there. Let's take a look at SPRC. How we doing here? Okay, so SPRC. Okay, Dan, so you filled a little there at 673. That was your entry under 7 that you told us about ahead of time. Now you're looking for this to kind of reclaim. Let me get this on the screen here. Sorry about that. Now you're looking for this to move up and reclaim. Stop under 650. It looks like we kind of just were right there. Let us know what you did here. Hopefully SPRC can curl and reclaim that. We'll see.
All right, guys, looking at a play that I don't normally play, but I like the outlook of it right now. I'm looking at Visa off 240s. Risk would be coming in here at 239 short. And so I'm trying to get short a little bit of this off the 240 spot here. All right, I'm going to get a little bit there, 20 shares. I'm willing to add it towards kind of this kind of double, triple top look, 239.60s, 239.50s. I'll add in that spot.
Top is, I deal with the same thing here real quick. Top is saying, I look at TPST every day and the FOMO hits me, but I just can't find an entry. Here's what I'll say. We've been watching TPST since that initial move here. And I've been asking about this. I even asked our happy hour crew to look into this. I feel you on that one. But these stocks that are just so volatile and move like crazy, it's difficult to find entry. And that's often not feeling confident about an entry is often one of the reasons why I miss some of these moves here. I'm okay with that because I really don't want to put myself in a position where I'm just donating to the cause and getting chopped up. This was a risky one. We outlined that from the beginning. So Carmen taking the calm Zen approach. I just put a limit buy at 7. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, Smoke Tuna saying on these risky trades, it's good to buy one share or whatever size it is for you. If you normally trade thousands of shares, you could probably do the same thing with 100 shares. But Smoke Tuna offering a really, really good piece of advice here. Force yourself to watch some of these things. And it's different when you actually own it versus just kind of having it on a watch list or even in a paper account. Even if the share size is small, you just seem to care a little bit more about it. Hopefully you pay a little bit more attention to it. Affirm, this is exactly what we did not want to see. This is bouncing off the VWAP here, moving back towards the highs. Where is the strength coming from in a firm? The market is dying. Qs, Dow, ES.
Remember, one of these things, these are
over.
momentum names. You got to be careful with momentum names. They can always go against the market. Momentum names don't have to move with the market, guys. That's one of the things that you would think about with a firm. Same thing you would think about it with a penny stock, right? Like TPST, right? It could go up even though the market's coming down. You got to understand a lot of the times, are these stocks correlated with the market? A firm, not necessarily always correlated with the market here. So just be careful out there, team. Sometimes you can just find a big short that goes into these stocks. Sometimes it could be a big buyer. It could just be one trader ruining the trade, right? Remember, it only takes one trader to ruin the trade. Could be big.
A firm 20% of the float shorted too, so there's definitely some shorters in there. We'll see where we end up going. Hey, look, if we got to book an L, we got to book an L. Can't win on a firm all the time. 1923, that high there, currently at 1920.
All right, guys, buying a little bit of FAZ.
Lawrence, take care of yourself, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you had a good day. Take care of yourself. Mitch, I'm sorry for interrupting, my man.
You're good, my friend. I just added there. I just went long on FAZ, so just playing that a little bit more. Going to look to see if Visa can really start going down now. I still got some orders to add here, but I don't expect these orders to fill, and I expect it to start coming back down through the low. We'll see what happens there, if that can make that low move. Goldman Sachs just made the move that I was looking for, but it was so hard to get filled in that spread. Look at that move right there. That's the move that I was looking for. But, I mean, the spread was just very hard for me to get into it. 314 was the level that I was looking to enter there. Risk off the kind of the 315 area. Would have been a perfect outlook. But a point, you already got like what? 3 points or 2 points on the first action. Not a bad move there. Man, that should help me on FAZ.
A firm moving through that spot here. If this does not come back in right here, we will probably be booking this momentum. Mitch, to your point about the momentum moving against me, not good here today on a firm. Not good at all.
A lot of this is look at XRT also. There's some stocks that are going up here in this environment, guys. KSS now at 5%. Remember the one that I mentioned yesterday that could be a little bit of a sneaky play? What was that play? Let's see if you guys, I'm testing the chat today. What do you guys think? What was that play that I mentioned yesterday that it's a forgotten retail name? I'll tell you what, they're in the malls a lot of the times. I'll give you guys some hints there. There's a little secret to this game, but we'll see what happens. What do you guys think? Let's see if you guys remember. Hit that like button. A little test out there for you guys. All right, FAZ looking good here for me today, guys. I'm looking at maybe taking another shot in here. Of course, yesterday I lost. Today, maybe I win. But definitely, am I seeing a trend here? Yeah. XRT, guys. Strong day again. Macy's up 2.94%. Even Wolf is up. Even Petco getting a little bit of a lift on this. That's why I say maybe look for Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Look how those stocks are starting to turn around. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, those types of names. They got a lift today. Goldman Sachs stepping into this area. Best Buy, stocks like that I'm looking at. Best Buy actually pulling back right now. That might actually give me an opportunity here. Kind of like this little pullback.
Looks like we have a winner, I think, Mitch. Did you want the ticker?
There you go. You got it. Marty.
Time out. Did you want the ticker or did you want just anything?
I mean, he answered it. That's
shortly before that, Ben had Victoria. I don't know if that's going to count. I don't know if that's going to count.
Victoria, we're going to give it a little split here. Split decision. Ben and Marty get the win here. You guys are right. Victoria's Secret. Take a look at this action here, guys. VC, of course, VSCO, of course, is split from the Lucky Brands, right? Was it before this? It was Lucky's Brands, right? I think I was remembering that.
I don't know.
Come on, man. You don't remember the Victoria's Secret life? No, I'm just messing with you.
Look, man. I mean,
look at this
how
chart.
Much of this do you want me to talk about?
All right, we'll see if this can really start making a move here. Not a bad move there. Look at the 3-day move. Nice little trend, right? We don't call it a trend until it's like a 2 or 3 day move. That's a 3-day move higher. That doesn't look too bad here. I actually kind of like this Best Buy pullback in the 70s, but I'm going to leave it alone for right now. I'm going to continue to watch the SPY to see what happens. SPY is on the downside. Qs are on the downside. Qs are starting to try to come back right now. We'll see what happens there in tech. I'm taking some shots for banks to go to the red, but if that doesn't go red, I'll definitely kind of let you guys know that's right now still in the green, looking for that to go red here. Looking for defensives also to go red. Communications about to slip into the red. So what are stocks like that? Well, that's like AT&T, names like that. AT&T is actually up today, so that's interesting. It's starting to head to the downside.
Lynn and Randy, take care of yourself. Safe travels on the road. Blackhawks smoking the Preds this season. They have not played yet. We'll see if that ends up happening. I hope that's the case. No offense to you, but we'll see if that ends up happening. Huge W for the Blackhawks last night, beating the Maple Leafs in Toronto. Maple Leafs were undefeated going into that game. I'm still in a firm, by the way. It started to come back in through that spot here, but honestly, it's really not breaking down. It's not making another move to the VWAP. Not going to let this go set a new high here. Really need this to break down at this point. And we are still in the red on that trade.
Could get some bounces in the market. A strong stock to the upside today in tech that's actually green from the leaders is Meta.
Yo, SPRC. All right, let me get Pro up here. Look at SPRC. I got to know, Dan, you called this one. I know you set a stop below 650. This went to 645. Dude, please tell me you were still in this. This did go back and reclaim that VWAP. Looks like it did temporarily anyway. See if it's trying to go above this. Dan, would love to know what happened here. Your plan was money on this one. Money. A firm moving back to the highs here. We shall see.
Problem with the firm is it's a lot of support underneath it here. A lot of support in the 1820s and the $18. So that's going to be an area to fight through for bears, right? And there's a trend line approach that takes this thing back to the upside on the daily. If it gets through kind of 1950s, that could actually create more upside momentum in a firm. That's on the daily charts. You guys can see that. So a firm is a tough one right now. I can't blame you for going about it because, of course, I feel the negative outlook on a firm too. But it's just on a day like today, I think it's just a tough trade. It's in software infrastructure, but has been already kind of going sideways, right? I'd look for names that have been ripped to the upside that want to turn momentum. This is sideways right now.
The other thing is that, like, okay, so a couple of things have gone into this a firm short. Obviously, took a setup here from Dave. Dave's been really hot with the shorts recently, and I am not a shorter, so I am trying to follow some of the experience. But here's the thing: more importantly than who else is trading this is the thesis. Remember, I have been absolutely consistent on the consumer weakening, on buy now, pay later being the siren song, being really kind of a negative. We had a market that was looking really kind of weak today. Banks were not really up on earnings. Goldman Sachs, by the way, plunging to lows here, Mitch. I'm sorry. It seems like we've missed entry on that one. That move into the lows here. It just seems set up to work here. We recently had a short in a firm that worked. We're trying to hit it again, trying to go back to the well for some more. And it's just now, it is what it is. I mean, it's part of it. The good news here is, especially because I'm doing something that I'm not terribly familiar with, I really didn't go and oversize myself. I'm down, but I haven't even bled back all of the profits that I have this week. So this is not the end of the world that I took a bad trade here. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let this spiral into my next trades. By the way, a firm coming back in here, maybe we'll get bailed out of this. Can you imagine if we get bailed out of this and this thing absolutely plunges? Give me some piece of news here that makes this thing really, really sink. I'd be ecstatic. But again, I don't want to get bent out of shape out of this one trade. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We move on. We find another one. We go from there.
Trying to get short some TER. Do you guys even know what that is?
TER. I don't off the top of my head. I'm going to look it up.
The test, right? Teradyne. That's a semiconductor equipment stock. How do I find these stocks, right? I always work backwards. I'm looking in, I said it in pre-market prep, that I wasn't necessarily only focused on the semiconductors to get hit on this. I was more concerned about the semiconductor equipment stocks to get hit. And what's leading the downside? What's the leading downside in technology industry? Semiconductor equipments. What are some of those stocks? ASML, AMAT, LRCX, KLAC. And then right after that, you got TER. And so I looked through the daily charts to find a bearish looking one, and TER is definitely that one. Now, the only problem is, can I get the entry? Because it dropped off of 94.70s there. So I put out orders at 94.80s, 94.90s. I needed to come back, but I think this could flush back down through 94 today. I just needed to come back a little bit. FAZ going back into the green there for me. I'm going to take a bigger shot here and then just start with a really tight risk here. So let's go after it today. Guys, we went after it yesterday. It didn't work out. Let's do it again. Let's see what happens this time.
Let's see.
Sometimes
if you can.
You got to just stay with the trade, right? I've been going after it.
My bird is pulling a Maverick and buzzing the tower right now, flying by my head, trying to get me to trying to shake me off my game. That's kind of funny. Real quick here, Dan, just an absolute marvelous job trading your plan. I'll go ahead and mute this here. I know the bird's popping off. Dan said I didn't get the 1 minute close under 650, so he stayed in at big targets on this one if it can get going. Gap at 11.95 and 14. That's going to be on SPRC right here. Dan holding in here. Hard stop now at 644. So a break of that low, 1 cent beneath it. Hard stop. I like it, Dan. What I really like here is that your plan was just absolute cash money on that one. Absolute cash money on that. Love seeing that. Real quickly here, Affirm starting to get a little shaky. We're still red in this trade, but we are moving back down. Let's see. As long as we can build under this VWAP here, we are in good shape.
All right, trying to get filled in this TER. Come on, come on.
Mitch, I'm going to use the washroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Go for it, man. Come on. I got stopped out there in Visa, guys, but still in FAZ. Got finally a little entry there in TER. Looking to add more. I got 100 shares of that. Got FAZ, 1,000 shares of that long, guys. So I'm taking my shot there in FAZ today, guys. We'll see what happens. Mitch, you were the only person talking about the semi-equipment makers. Great call. Yeah, that's what I try to do, man. And Ben, really, where you guys even see it probably and hear it on this show is that necessarily, hey, I'll let you guys know. I'm not the top day trader out there to kind of keep up with. Now, my swing trading action, my sector and industry analysis, that's where my bread and butter lies, guys. That's why I try to talk all the time about what sectors and industries I see moving, because it's definitely an important outlook. The bird saying don't buy. No, wait, the bird saying sell. We'll see what happens, like always, guys. Definitely smash the like. All right, we'll see if FAZ can make that move. TER just got filled, the second fill there, guys. So down a little bit here. Just going to kind of focus with this one. Let's see what happens in the Qs, though. The Qs are trying to make an up move above 366. That's kind of the level that I'll be watching. SPY is trying to make a move above 434s. If it can't get above these levels, I think we reject right back down. But a move above that, you can definitely get a move higher. So just be careful out there. Definitely some push coming in. Microsoft and Tesla buyers coming in. Yeah, you're seeing a little bit of an attempt towards the upside. Now, the only question is, can they push it higher? The IWM has been going against the way that the market's been working. So the IWM has been going down while the TLT goes down. IWM's going up. TLT is going up. Well, you're starting to see some of the IWM go down. It's kind of weird, but I've been seeing that as of late, kind of a little bit of a uncorrelated trade there. IWM is getting the lift today. And what are some of these stocks in the IWM that are doing well? I think that's an important thing to catch here today. It's going to be some smaller names. ITOS, QUTR, NKTX, names like that. CENX. That's a name that we talk about often. That's an aluminum name. that's getting a little bit of a push in the $7 range, and really nice move there for aluminum today. We'll see what happens on that one. You got Summit there. Looking through these to see what's making moves here. Stitch Fix, an apparel store, doing well.
TPST looking like that's trying to move towards the top end of the range, buddy. Please behave yourself. Come on.
You're dealing with it too, Ryan. Don't worry.
He's been out of his mind this morning. Like, just go nap.
It's all cats. It's all cats, man. Hendrix is too, man. I'll tell you right. You saw me earlier. I was like hopping out.
Another massive bounce on a firm. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. There's so much strength in this name on a day where it just doesn't make sense. I know the SPY's moving right now. Holy smokes.
Oh, don't worry. I'm getting hit hard here in TER. About to get out of this one because it is spiking with the market here. Qs are getting a little bit of a lift here. I think eventually
closing
this is a trap,
affirmed here.
Big move to the upside there.
Out of affirmed. That's I can't wait to hit this stock again. That sucked.
Yeah, that happens, my friend.
Yikes.
Don't worry. I'm getting the spike put on right now in TER. Definitely don't want it to get back above this kind of 95.75. That's probably where I'll get out if it just hits there. But it's a big loss already.
Let's see if TPST is the one to do it here today. Yeah, pretty decent size loss there. Minus 110 at a firm short. Only 200 shares. Shows you how quickly that can add up here.
Don't worry. Yikes. I'll be worse read than you are right now. So just hang in there, Ryan. Keep battling. We'll see if my TER kind of turns back to the downside here, but it got a quick spike there. Not what
13. Good morning, my man. Hopefully you're doing well. What winners do we have? We talked about POW right out of the gates here. POWWammo.com. That is up here today. Did take that for a swing long here. Cited you and the happy hour crew on that one. You guys make me feel better about my lose. Lol. Thanks. Here's the thing, man. Honestly, like, that's important for Mitch and I know this might sound stupid, but it's really, really important. We're going to show you when we win. We're going to show you when we lose. There is nobody in this game that wins all of the time. So if you follow accounts that say that they do that and post these ridiculous percentages and all of that, I maintain you should run from that. So we're going to try to be open and honest with you. I talked to a lot of traders of varying levels, and a lot of them say, yeah, I look around and nobody seems to be losing but me. Trust me, that is not the case. So hopefully this does actually give you a net positive. That's the goal, man. ES spiking here. What piece of news did we get? What is going on?
It's just trying to hurt them, the Max Payne trade, dude. It's just like a lot of shorts came in. Now
I don't see anything. I don't see any newsprint driving this.
It's not news related. It's algo related. I got hit there in FAZ, guys. Took another hit on FAZ. Even though stocks are doing well, I went after I had the right mentality again today and couldn't get it because of the spreads. I need to do better on those spreads. If I would have gone after my original intention, yesterday it was JPM, today Goldman Sachs, and look at Goldman Sachs chart. But yet I go for FAZ and get wrecked. Clear example right now, right? And so I think that this is right here where I need to do a little bit better on, because I'm in the right stocks. I'm thinking the right stocks, just not taking them here. The spread was getting me on GS and should have just took an entry, then added to it in between the spread. That's the way to go about it, is take the shot, take the starter, and then add to it, work the order, because this would have been a monster win here on Goldman Sachs. Instead, I go after FAZ and take the loss, even though it's in the same area. And that just goes to show you that FAZ isn't moving nowhere near as fast as it needs to compared to some of these names. So definitely a stock picking environment. The weighted and the leverage plays are just not working for me as of late. Tear is about to stop me out for a big loss here. Boom. Just took that hit there. Another hit there on TER. So not looking good there for me, Ryan. What are you seeing in the markets, my friend?
I'm waiting on TPST here to see if this can get rolling.
Boom. Just got deleted in the last. I'm down like 351. So I'm done for the day.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't realize it was that big.
Oh yeah. TER just wrecked me right there. It just spiked what, close to $1 there, and the spread went wide. It was only wide by about 10 cents, and now in 40 cents wide. So definitely just getting wrecked there. So not a good day for me, at least on the day trading side. I'm going to come after it on the swing side of things now, and that's where I do better. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on that. I'll see if I can nail some swing trades to the, especially to the short side. That's what I want to be looking for. Goldman Sachs, man. So annoyed, dude. That was the one that I wanted to come after today. It was a nice little setup. Badly executed today. A little frustrating. All right. Well, I did want to take a second, of course, to let you guys know about the trading competition that's going to be coming up, guys. I do want to let you guys in on the trading competition. You guys see it right at the top, October 30th to November 7th. We're going to have the Rule the Pool trading competition. This is
Rule the pool.
Yes.
Like
Rule
that.
the Pool, baby. This is all on Trade the Pool, Benzinga Pro, and we got to represent for Benzinga because this is not exclusively for us. There's going to be other traders that jump in here. I need you guys out there, the live trading community, to represent us the best and get after the top prizes. Why you want to get after these top prizes? I mean, take a look at the prizes, guys. It's not something little here. We'll go ahead and I'll kind of go through it here. Take a look here, guys. The Trade the Pool contest is going to be going for 7 days. Of course, 7 trading days. So not just 7 calendar days, like a lot of times you see competitions going. You'll have 7 trading days. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be really interesting how it works. All you got to do is register and get after it, guys. The prizes are actually pretty big here. The first prize is going to be $260,000 buying power package. Of course, that's their top package. This is an awesome opportunity here, guys. I mean, just think about it in this sense, right? If you take a look at the programs, right, what do you guys see? Well, you guys see that this one would cost you $1,240. So that's the gift that it could definitely give you. So we'll see what happens with this one. Of course, I want you guys to go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and sign up already.
Okay.
I'm going to throw up a link here for you guys to go ahead and check it out.
Okay. Just took TPST, just scalped it pretty good. Oh man, it went so much further. Okay. So let's talk about this. Let's walk through this. So first of all, you can see where I'm selling. Look at this. God, rough day for me too, Mitch. Rough day for me too. Was trying to scalp TPST on a break through the top here. Tried to sell into a move, actually got a pretty crappy fill. This was about 740, 745 when I hit the button. You can see this thing went right up to 8. I got absolutely shafted here on about 60 cents worth of profit. I did end up making some money here, so I was able to pare back a lot of those affirmed losses here, but this should have been a monster winner watching TPST. I tried to call it as we were going there. You're in the middle of the read there. You can see oh God, is that fill bad? It should have been closer to here. I was trying to front run the 750 move, got a really crappy fill. This thing went to 8. I'm not pissed. I'm not pissed because we were able to actually get some of that money back, but God, this should have been a much bigger winner, much bigger winner. And I totally flubbed it. Holy smokes, man.
Hey, I mean, a win's a win. Way better than I'm doing.
Yeah, but I want to start. I'm still down on the day. I'm still down on the day here.
That's okay.
God, that was it. That was it. Just a horrific. What happened with the fill? Oh my God, I should have had so much more than that.
Limits, my friend. Limit orders. You got to get in there and then just look to add after. What I usually do is if I'm going to market, I'll start with a smaller share size and then look to market as
735 was my. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I needed at least 10 more cents on that. And I mean, this thing, if I had stayed in it, this thing moved. Oh God, that's a bad exit. I know it's a trade that went green, Mitch, but there was so much more left on the table there. Damn.
You chose the out spot there, Ryan. So what I would say there is necessarily maybe use a stop at break even on a scalp like that. You know what I mean? Maybe that could have been the move.
I mean, a stop though, some of these things, the spread went crazy, and some of the times you play, one of the things that I've been battling with here is that when I place the stop
Mm-hmm.
here, how do I?
Yeah, I was just moving back and forth, holding it so that
Yeah,
they can see the full screen there.
when I place the stop, the stock ends up coming back in, stopping me out, and then going. I really, really wanted to avoid that here. I thought I played it. And again, I didn't know it was going to go to 8. I thought I definitely got more of this, but just a really crappy fill. No, I'm looking at a 3-minute chart, Kevin. Good question here. I've been using the 3-minute chart here mostly because of what Smoke Tuna has been saying about it. I'm trying to combine the 3-minute chart with the MACD to give another approach here on some of these scalps. This one just not a good fill. Yeah, Smoke Tuna saying maybe Gil can address this. TTP fills are very crap. It's not. I don't always notice that. I don't think that that's the case. When I hit the button here, this thing was in the 740s, and it filled me at 735.
Yeah, the key there is you're on a market order. You are determining that, right?
Yeah, but Mitch, no, man. I'm sorry. I cannot take that. I sell into momentum moves up all the time and don't get fills under the price. I'm sorry, dude. That's not, if it's bad luck here on this particular one because the bid dropped off and it hit me at market, okay, fine. I do this all the time, and it doesn't do stuff like that.
Yeah, the key here is understanding at the end of the day, guys, I would recommend going with limits only unless you have that experience going with the market orders. And remember, when you're doing a market order, what are you telling the market?
Fill at any price. It doesn't matter what the price is.
So you just think about that. We get sometimes what? We get accustomed to fills from different platforms and we try to attach that to the different platforms. The truth is platform to platform is going to feel differently. And if this doesn't feel perfect on the market order, maybe you want to switch to the limit orders, right? And that's what I would be thinking about. There's different going to be platforms that do really well on market order fills, and there's going to be platforms that do pretty bad on market fills. Like I know with TD, I didn't have the best experience with doing market fills, so I went away from them. Right. And I think that you need to be
the opposite for me. The opposite for me. And by the way, man, TPST roaring, might be testing 9 here. Holy cow. That is, look, at this point, Mitch, I know I booked gains on this. This was a bad trade. This was a bad trade. Market order, that is even left. That conversation has left the building. This stock,
I don't think that's a bad trade, bad exit.
Bad
good
exit.
Entry.
Okay.
Good
bad exit. I mean, we're playing for this break, right? We're playing for this break. We get the break. I get filled under the break. That's step number 1. It ends up going another $1.50. We're not even done here. So yeah, definitely a rough exit. I agree with that. Rough exit.
Rough exit, right? So where could we have improved on is the execution on the exit here, not necessarily even so much the entrance, right? And so I think that that's what you got to be thinking about, right? And so understanding that, right? And understanding how things fill. This is why I talk about it, right? Understanding the bids and offer and how that works, what could give you the advantage. I think this is what you guys got to be thinking about.
Yeah, this is actually a really good point here too. I noticed this too real quick. Top is saying, I started using Moomoo after you guys showed it. Their market fills are great. I agree with this. One of the things I really liked about that Moomoo account were the fills. And it wasn't even just the market. The limits seemed to really, really work well too. I mean, maybe I'm used to that. I don't know. It's just, I guess this is more frustrating than anything else, just because we picked the right stock here. I spent time early in a trade that went against me. I picked the wrong stock. Then I did pick the right stock and flubbed the exit. It is what it is. We're on to the next one.
That's all you can do, baby. Just keep battling, right? That's what we're here for. We'll see what happens. Definitely TPST taking a big move up. SOXS moving back down below 11. That looks like an opportunity, but the Qs are ripping here. So it just goes to show us that this is how the market works right now. The market likes to hurt where it can hurt the most. Today, what does it do? It washes out right before the gates to make all the bulls feel like they have to let go of their positions. Then the bears come in as things are starting to come back to the upside. And then what does it do? It hurts the bears also. So today it's washing out the bulls and washing out the bears. This is why day trading can be hard, because to tell you the truth, the market can do this. It can actually stop out both sides of the trade. I think that's exactly what you're seeing today. Stopping out at the open, the bulls, then stopping out the bears as the market comes back.
Savant, there is no way, there is absolutely no way I chased this move that is almost $2 over where I was just trading it. No, sir. This would have to set up for a great entry. There is no way I chase that and give those right back to the market. No, that would be a colossal mistake.
Yeah, and I think you went all in, all out too. I think that is one thing that
definitely
we can think about,
that's
right?
a scalp. That's part of the plan. Whoa, that's part of the plan. I'm not adjusting the plan afterwards and saying, oh no. The idea was to get in there, trade the break, get out of there with all of the shares. There was no plan to scale out of that trade.
That's what you did here. And at the end of the day, if that's what you did here, I think at the end of the day, you can look back at this trade and yes, the trade went higher. But at the end of the day, the execution was what you wanted to do. Get in, get out. And now it's kind of, how can we get it to the most advantage? How can we get a better maybe entry to give me a little bit of extra on the return? That's some things that we'll think about. And also, it's a speed type of trade, right? When speed types of trade, I talk about this all the time. You want to have tools that allow you to what? Direct your ordering. This is not allowing you to direct your ordering here. So with that being said, speed trades might not be the best trades here on this platform. Like, and I think that's what I need to be thinking about.
Yeah, and Smoke Tune is hitting it right here in the chat. First of all, Gil says that we're always working on improving the aspects, which I don't doubt at all. Smoke Tune really hitting it right on the head here. Thanks, Gil. I hope it improves. Sometimes market orders are a quick exit that we need. That is exactly what I was looking for on this one. That is exactly why I used it instead of a limit. Your point is well made about limits. We'll try to do that on a really quick scalp like this. I didn't really have time to mess with the limit order. I just tried to get out of it, and I just didn't get a fill that I liked. That's really all there is to it. Dory here saying, yeah, Ryan, you did it right. Stuck to your plan. This is what I'm going to try to tell myself. It just sucks to be telling yourself that $2 under where it was. I mean, just an absolutely massive move over where I had it.
All right, guys. Interesting trade right now. SQQQs off the 19s look interesting. Success off 11s look interesting. I'm not going to trade no more. I'm done for the day, but I'm just calling out what I see looking interesting for me. SQQQs right off this 19 looks interesting for me. Now the only question is, will it come back, right? I mean, at least there's an opportunity there. And I think that that's one thing I definitely would be looking at. All right. Definitely hit the like button. We'll see if TUP can break the VWAP. Definitely something to
TUP right now. I'm looking at TUP right now.
Tuppity tup, tup, tup. We'll see if it gets to the next level there, guys. It's about 10:27 to right now, guys. Definitely smash the like. Let's keep it going right here, of course. Live trading with Benzinga. We've had over 400 of you guys. How many likes can we get to? We got 190. Can we break the 200? Let's go. Break that resistance.
Should we see, like right now, because I feel like I missed out on profits on TPST, I kind of want to just take some right here at the VWAP, see if it breaks. If it doesn't, close it.
So annoyed, Ryan. So annoyed. Just look at this. Look at Goldman Sachs.
I'm doing it.
You get after that TUP, brother. You guys.
Yeah, see that there it is.
Just frustrated, guys. Just not playing what I'm talking about. Not playing the move that I was looking at, right? I went after FAZ. Should have gone after this Goldman Sachs. This is what I was looking at. Right out the gate, pre-market, I was looking at this, just not coming after it, and Goldman Sachs going lower. Gave me, I mean, this could have been a 314 to 308. I mean, that's all I needed for the day.
We are long TUP here, 233. Gonna take a tight stop on this. Really don't. Right now, I feel like I feel the frustration So I don't want to allow that to magnify. If this starts to just kind of sell off, I'm gonna close it at market. I'm just going to try to get out of it. Hopefully we can end up moving through the VWAP here. It looks pretty decent, looks really strong. If we get a knife, I'll be out.
I'll tell you what, guys, if you guys want to test out the platform, I think a really good way of testing out this platform and trying to figure out ways to use it is going to be in the stock trading competition, right? Because this is going to be absolutely for free. You guys get to check out the platform, test it out, come after Ryan and I in the competition. Who's going to win? Who's going to be the top place prize here in the live trading community? I'll tell you what, the top place, and if you're in this community, right, and you come to the live trading stream and tell us like, hey, I'm at this place, I'm in this place, and the top person from our live trading stream right here will be getting also a Benzinga Pro give out. We'll do that, Ryan and I. So you guys out there, test yourselves, show us what you got in the trading competition. Top prize, just even here, we'll give away a prize also, guys. $620,000 in prizes. Smash the like, guys.
Still watching top here.
Sign up. Who's going to win?
And that's
could be a trap. Yeah, it could be
a trading competition. That's just like a paper trading. So anyone can do this. We'll all be on the same level with accounts and everything. Yeah, that's
what I like it. Everyone's on the same page, same level. And the real key is you get to test the platform, right?
Yep.
You guys will definitely be able to test out the platform, set it up, take a shot, and see what you could do on Trade the Pool, right? Who's going to rule the pool? Find out. I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to be trying to come after this. And a lot of this, also with swing trading. I'll let you guys know how we can do swing trading in the trading competition. Of course, you got to come down a little bit in some overnight buying power, but I'll let you guys know there's ways to come after it. Even Gil is out here saying, I'm aiming for top 10. Watch out.
Yeah.
Gil going to come after us. Ben, you seen Lockheed Martin? Yeah, Lockheed Martin go from 429 to 450 without you. Yeah, that's a hard one because it gapped up. I find it hard to go after those plays too, Ben, but it hasn't been a bad move. Rick Porter said, I'm not dealing with smoked tuna in the competition.
He doesn't want that smoke. Rick doesn't want that smoke.
Come on, man. I need that smoke. I literally talk about smoked tuna all the time, and I laugh about it. But that name, prime time, my friend. All right, we'll see what else is going on. Lynn, wish you the best out there. Anyone can sign up for this contest. Yes, sign up already, guys. There's no need to wait either. You guys can just hit it, and when the competition starts, just get ready. And one of the things that we'll do leading up to the competition, 2 days before or a day before, I'll show you guys how to do some setups. So you guys see us doing some setups here, right? You guys see how Ryan's setup is completely different than my setup. We can show you guys how to do different setups, right? How do you might want to have your screen set up for the competition? What are the things that can give us an advantage? We'll talk all about that right here, of course, on live trading. Rick, you already signed up? That's my boy. I like it. You going to win, Rick? I want to find out. That means smoked tuna can't get in it, though.
No, you should always want to go after the best. If you can beat the best, then that's a good thing.
I like this one. I'm gonna get that tuna.
Getting tuna via the
tuna. I'm gonna go bow fishing. Have you ever seen that, Ryan?
People fishing with like bows and arrows?
Yeah, that's badass.
I have not.
You catch a bass with a bow and arrow.
I don't know if that's my thing.
That's pretty badass. TLT killed. Yeah, the TLT is just getting hit, guys. TLT is right off of the VWAP right now. We'll see if it comes up here. How the Qs doing? The Qs are up there to 367, but slowing down here. This is when I could expect to see maybe NVIDIA reject. I'm thinking about maybe taking a little bit of I want to short Nvidia here on the swing trade account, but I needed to get to like 440s. Makes sense here. Maybe it keeps climbing a little bit more. I'll give it a little bit more, but I kind of like this first swing down on Nvidia.
Ryan asking, I'm looking at the 1 and the 5 minute chart. Can you walk us through your setup to short? What was your entry decision? Yeah, we already covered that once, but I'll run it through you here again. Couple of things here. Number one was looking for short setups. There was another chatter in the chat here today that was targeting Affirmed. We had targeted Affirmed in the past and it had worked. So this was a decent target that had given us some gains before. One of the things we saw is a market that was really kind of weakening on some of the reports from this morning. You can see here Affirm was kind of following the market. It was kind of bleeding down. If I flip over to the SPY chart, I'll show you exactly what I was kind of looking at here. SPY also showing some weakness here in the pre-market. Thought the open might be a little bit slop. Oh, I don't even have the right screen shared, for heaven's sakes. Fuck. Sorry. I'm shook. I'm absolutely shook. At least Tup's working now. This is we see SPY getting weaker and weaker here in the pre-market. This is what I was just talking about when none of you could see what I was doing. We saw the same thing here in Affirmed. So thought right out of the open, maybe Affirm is going to break down and potentially move lower. If we back out here and we go back to the last day where we shorted this for a pretty good short, you can see it's exactly what it did. Right out of the open, it just kind of fell out. This is the same type of move that I was looking for. So going back here, wanted this to stay under the VWAP. You can see that this first move actually went to the VWAP. I want to, if I can go back to let's go back here. It's got the buys and sells on the chart here for Affirm, so we can actually kind of review it. You can see as we were pushing up to the VWAP, we opened up the initial, we pushed above the VWAP, and we kind of stopped there. It kind of felt like it was going to get a little heavy. We added to the short. Okay, we came back into the VWAP. Things started to look like they might be pretty good. And then that's where the momentum just took over. You can actually see down here, volume kind of expanded. Buyers stepped in. We pushed higher, back tested the VWAP, pushed higher, back tested the VWAP, pushed higher still. It was on this push higher that we stopped out of this trade. We're basically looking for this to roll over out of the gate. We got the opposite of that. Let me know, Ryan, if this answers your question.
All right, guys, Nvidia is starting to get to that spot where I'm looking to get short, especially on the swing trade account here, towards 440s, and I'm getting that move right now. So I'm going to start looking to get short here. All right, just put out an order there right above 440s, and now I'm going to start trying to get 440s. Just tapped it there for a second. Should have got filled there, but trying to get filled here.
Still waiting on Tup here. Tups hasn't really gone anywhere. TPST looking like this might try to go higher here. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to stay away from that. That is TPST has the ability to make me very, very angry today. And I'd just like to remove that from the equation. Hopefully Tup can move up here and give us some gains. Gerald
at 440.
Gerald saying, Ryan, you showed us Float Checker site a couple of weeks ago. Very handy. Glad that you're benefiting from that. Mitch, you showed the Hedge Follow site. Another good one. You guys have any other useful sites? I mean, I got to go with the real easy one. Man. Investopedia, dude. There are times where something's going on and I don't fully understand it. Investopedia, free resource, very, very trustworthy. Great site for learning new things about the market. The other thing for all of you options players, Options Industry Council, a free website that will walk you through placing your first options trade to doing multi-leg advanced spreads. So Options Industry Council and Investopedia would be two that I would recommend that are not Benzinga. Obviously, the Benzinga websites are awesome.
Yeah, I like those. I use FinViz a lot. If you wanted like a little free resource, FinViz is one of the ones I use also. There's a lot on FinViz. I've even used the premium versions. They're just charting kind of sucks, but they're really good at like, let's say like if you're looking for statistical data. I did at least get a little bit of Nvidia there. We'll see if I can get an ad. I have an order to add at 440 30s, 440.29, but got a tiny bit there on NVIDIA. Willing to add a little bit more, but 440 short for the swing. And this is going to be a swing down. I expect it to come break down 425. So the risk here is 442.50s. So it's about 250s on risk. I'm looking for a move back down towards 425. That would be like a $15 move down. So I'm more than willing to take the shot there. And then this could also be kind of an SQQQ call out there for a reversal there, maybe a SOX kind of dip buy here in the 80s, and then looking for it to come back up. We'll see what happens.
TPST going for those highs. Yikes.
Buglog, you're still doing the JetBlue move. I can't blame you. No worries. That's a good investment that you're thinking about. And the truth is, it's an investment, right? You'll see what happens there. The key is always when investments is just know what the pain threshold is. It's okay to increase positions, but there should also be a pain threshold where you don't just say, oh, I'm going to stop looking at this stock and let my cash kind of disappear. That's the one thing that I would just talk about, because I had to learn that lesson with Genie, and I still haven't cut it, right? I don't want other traders to get stuck in a situation like that, where it's kind of like you're just kind of waiting for a stock to come back, and the stock doesn't look like it's coming back anytime soon.
Real quick, halt on Wyndham Hotels, news pending. Halt, news pending, Wyndham Hotels. Remember, this had the we talked about this as being a potential stock in play here today. Wyndham Hotels and Resorts trading higher after Choice Hotels proposed to acquire the company for $90 a share in a hostile takeover. This is halted, news pending.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a harder one, but $90 per share was the mentioned price. So if $90 per share is going to happen, then you're not looking too bad there in Wyndham, right? I mean, overall investors, I think they're just going to wait to see what happens there. You're at the 70s. I think this is just an arbitrage type of play. So the ARBs are coming in here.
I have no idea what the news is for. Just shouting it out because we mentioned it this morning.
Yeah, it was $90 per share. We talked about it on pre-market prep. I think it could get that $90 per share, or maybe even just slightly above. And that's a premium, and Wyndham gets up there, right? We'll see what happens. How's that XRT in the retail trade? Continuing higher right now. NVIDIA turned around. That actually looks interesting for me. Now it's down to 438s. Going to leave that to continue working. XRT going higher, man. This was a good trade, man. I'm so pissed I didn't take this trade yesterday. I was talking about it with multiple people, man. Sometimes you got to catch what you're saying. Yeah, I got you. XRT here going higher. Names in XRT that are doing well today: KSS, GCO, HIBB, Pivot Sports, Etsy getting a little bit of a lift. These consumer-facing stocks getting a nice little push here today. Even Wolf, even Chewy turned around a little bit. Man, Chewy's been beaten down so much.
Macy's, I just placed an order last night, by the way. Catalyst.
Ollie's getting a little bit of a lift. I talked about Dollar General. Would that get the lift as it turns around? As you saw Goldman Sachs step up to the plate and starting to call out different call outs in the industry. Of course, we're talking kind of the discount stores. And look at DG. Boom, to the upside today. Dollar Tree was the one that they actually called out there. Look at Dollar Tree continuing to the upside there. So both stocks looking good. That's why I won't be shorting Walmart today, as I look to see that Walmart could continue higher, especially with the mentions that are out there. That could push right back to the upside. Even Costco could push up back to the upside, and that's it's doing it right now as we speak. So Costco not looking too bad there, also staying strong. And these consumer stocks, that's kind of where I'm kind of sticking into right now. $10.42, guys. I don't think we we have AB coming up next. So awesome. I'll stick around for a little bit longer. AB? Yeah, you got Benzinga Live coming up next, so I'll stick around to 11. Normally this would be a day that I'd probably hop out, but yeah, it is what it is, right? Let's keep battling. Let's see what else is in the markets right now. Costco pulling back. NVIDIA finally started to turn around. Q's falling down now, and so we'll see if that kind of comes into play. SQQQ also something that's starting to recover. We'll see if it recovers 19. That looks interesting off 1890s. Just calling out plays that could still be available. XRT staying strong, man. We'll see if the SQQQs just take a bounce from here. This looks interesting for me. Just reversal pattern off like the 1890s undercut and rally type of trade. We'll see if it comes into play. TNA, SQQQ, PBR, Rivian, Palantir starting to come down. ARKK making an up move today. Ford making an up move today. See when they finally close those strikes or actually give a deal. I think eventually you're just going to see a big spike on Ford and GM. That's why I wouldn't bet against them now. It just looks like it wants to just finally get the deal and then see a spike. Market's starting to slip a little. Quantum mentioning it. I agree. Starting to slip a little bit.
Yeah. Dave, good luck, man. Good luck. Back in a firm short 1940 stop over high of day, totally tilted. At least you're being honest about it. Just be careful, man. I am tilted too. I am tilted too, my man. This day.
Yeah, it's how it goes sometimes, guys, and this is how sometimes that's why I like swing trading. I feel like I don't get wrecked. I very rarely get wrecked in swing trading. Maybe if it's like a surprise news or something like that, but my share size is so small that it allows me to stay into trades, get through it, look for the bigger wins, things like that. This is definitely where I feel like I just do a lot better. Like Nvidia right now has just been a no stress kind of trade, even though I'm already in it. I haven't even been really even keeping up with it because as long as it doesn't go past my stop, I'm fine here past 442. Give myself more room also. That's what helps me a lot of the times in these types of trades for swing trades versus day trades is that I can give myself way more room than on a day trade. One to keep an eye out for Netflix. We'll see what happens with Netflix. Has their kind of ad tier kind of made them the money that they're looking for? I know they've been really stingent on the password sharings. I can tell you guys because a situation like even with like my dad or he kind of shares his Netflix with someone in Miami, and even he like takes trips there and activates the account there, and they still give them problems on using it in 2 different places. So Netflix has really cracked down on that password sharing to the point where they're willing to lose customers on it. Now the only question is, will they lose customers on it, right? I think that's something that you can be questioning.
I mean, they lost me. I've never had a streaming Netflix subscription. I did borrow some of my friends' accounts, and I won't anymore.
Yeah,
that
so
won't
things
hurt
like that.
That won't hurt them at all, though. I never paid them. They're not losing anything technically. I mean, I'm not watching their content, but they're not losing.
Yeah, but in this situation, it would be more like if you were the person that was paying on the other side. Do you cancel now because you can't share with Ryan? Things like that, right? I mean, I think it's something definitely to think about in the long run. And they're saying that they might actually increase prices. I think that'd be a smart, wise move here. All right, definitely a slowdown in the market now. Not much going on, just a little bit of a drag back, but it's just been slow sideways on the Qs.
I don't know how this works, but this might be one of the pro tips given in our chat. I use Netflix in different countries. I just pick one where password sharing isn't prohibited, so they never do anything. LOL. You might be able to. You can probably. I'm imagining, Tapas, that you use a VPN in order to put your IP in different countries. Let me know if that's confirmed. Smoke Tuna, I appreciate you trying to offer the other side of the argument here, saying you might buy a subscription because I can't share it with the people that I was sharing with it. No, I will not be. Now, I will say here that I might be in the minority here. I don't think Netflix content is great. The last thing that I used Netflix for was Hard Knocks, and the thing before that was The Witcher season. I'm not trying to buy more. I have other means, frankly, of getting that content if I do want to see it. Oh, and I'm sorry, it wasn't Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks was HBO. My apologies. So the last thing that I used Netflix for was Witcher. No, I'm not buying a subscription.
All right, guys, setting a stop here for NVIDIA. It just got a spike. It's back up above 441. It's not going to let it get back above 442, 30s or somewhere in that area. So watching that right now.
Yo, Jonathan, good to see you back. It's been a while, my man. It has been a while since we've seen you in here. Yeah, the VIX getting crushed. It's trying to break out through that 20, but every time it gets back up there, it can't.
Vixie VIX.
TPST being mentioned here. TPST really needs to hold 8 for a long. To me, this just seems like no man's land here. We don't really have the mo. I may or may not have a large Plex server and use torrents. What he means right there is he definitely does and doesn't pay for shit. That's what that means.
Yeah, I've slowly been moving in that camp. Let's just say I slowly been moving in that camp. I've been moving more and more to just being like, you know what? Why am I paying for things when I can get them free on the internet? Like, really? It comes to a point. Like,
where's Zunaid to come in and tell us a story about stealing stuff as a kid? Right, that was the spot for him to just pop in here and give another story about that.
Those CVS's and Walgreens kicked out and banned Zunaid, I heard. They were listening in on the stream here. Plug Power. It's not a bad one. I heard a couple mentions of fuel cell kind of mentions there that were in like kind of the works from the government. And you guys are seeing Plug get that nice little lift. Doesn't look too bad. That could also help like FSIL. Those two run hand in hand.
Yeah, 13. I definitely remember Napster, man. I learned a lot about music from my access to Napster. That is for sure. I've got a tree stump to burn anyone up for some s'mores. Rick. Oh man, I would definitely be up for some s'mores. If I could just hoodie weather outside, we get a fire pit, get some s'mores cooking. I'm in, Rick. I'm in. Booked.
Yeah, we'll use the beer that was given to us by the chat.
You got it?
I'm waiting for it, Ryan.
Oh, dude, I will drink one on stream. I will drink one on stream at 9:30 in the morning if I have to. That is what a G he is.
Yeah, we're waiting for the moment, but definitely we'll show you guys all about that. And you guys in the chat, you guys can always reach out to us, talk to us. We're here for you guys, just as like you guys are here for us. Calls on s'mores just went higher. You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. That's what Jeff says.
Becca saying made a bunch of mixed CDs off Napster. Indeed, Becca. You know, I used to take it a step further. I used to take CDs I didn't care about, break the jewel case down, pull out all of the paper, measure it, create a document on my computer, and then make my own CD case. I would take the paper and fold it and put it back into the jewel case with the burn
you're
CD.
Fancy, dude. I would just get the Sharpies and write on it.
Sharpie, Schmarpie. I had a series of mixed CDs. I called them Fat Beats. PHATBEATZ. I mean, I was a kid. I was in high school. I didn't know better. I was all about that life. All about that.
Oh man, 60s there, not too bad, Rick.
60s, and his closest neighbors are a quarter mile away. Oh my god,
sounds like a big fire getting ready to go.
Dude, where are you, Rick? Can we do s'mores? Also, can I bring my pistol? Can we go shooting as well?
Yeah, I mean, if they're half a mile away, a quarter mile away, you can do whatever the hell you want.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. And see, I knew I wasn't the only person that did this. 13 chiming in here, label printer and all. I used my regular printer, but a label printer that might have worked here. Becca defending me. Yeah, I did that too. By the way, I'm closed out of Tup here. Tup's breaking down. That still in the green for the week, miraculously, man. But man, really kind of a rough day here today.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just how this market goes a lot of the times. And so, what has the market done a lot today? It's done a shakeout of both sides. And I think that we need to think about this as traders sometimes. This is exactly what I mean by the max pain trade. And I was trying to ask myself this before the open. Should I ask myself it a little bit more? What's the max pain trade? The max pain trade today would be to wash out the bulls out the gates, then wash out the bears as the market bounces. That's what I think has happened exactly here. So look how far we came back. What does that usually do? So if you were a bull right here out the gates, you saw this quick little downturn in the Qs and you're just watching your money deteriorate. So right out the gates, when the market goes another leg down, you usually cover, right? And then what usually happens, the bears are looking for some kind of bounce to short. I was one of those bears, right? So I get short somewhere around here. And then you know what happens? It just squeezes me out. Gets back all the way towards, or maybe unchanged from at least this area right here in the pre-market. And now look at this down move that's coming in. So now it wants to wash out the bulls again. At least that's what it's seeming like. This is how the market can move. And a lot of times why you need to be thinking about longer term time frames. And this can help you, right? Look at the hourly chart. Look how this came back to hourly support, bounced right off of that. Now starting to come back towards this prior support that's starting to act as resistance around the 368 on the Qs. Now I'll look to see if 368 recovers. If 368 recovers, it can come back. If not, it could come right back down towards this 364. That's how the market likes to work a lot of the times. It's going to hurt where it can hurt the most. I think it's important to catch that because I've seen this happen too many times where it just washes out both sides. Jonathan said, no, when you're in a high volatility environment, this is exactly that environment right there with a nice little pop down. And that's how it goes sometimes. That's why day trading sometimes can kind of catch you because you're looking at the momentum a little bit too much versus looking at deeper time frames and looking for pullback actions. Sound, I wouldn't touch the AI names by... I honestly wouldn't touch AI names here, especially like BBAI, C3AI, Sound. I don't trust those one bit. Now, Palantir and NVIDIA.
I haven't trusted those from the beginning either, Mitch. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, like NVIDIA and Palantir, at least you could tell me that it's AI, and I believe it's AI, right? With these other names, I don't believe them one bit. Anyone watching Coin I know is hot early. Let's see if it stayed hot. Yeah, it stayed hot, man. The Bitcoin ETFs wash out yesterday, and today those stocks want to make the move. So Mara in play today, Hut in play today, names like that, Riot in play today. Those are moving. So if you're looking for something that's going against the market, Riot, Mara, Coin got a nice little push up there. Those I think could keep going.
Take care of yourself, Gerald. Thanks for your support today. Thanks for smashing up that like. Take care of yourself.
Stopped out there even in NVIDIA in the swing trade action. So that just goes to show you guys it isn't it right now, guys. It's hold my money and wait for next year more than likely. I haven't taken a swing trade in like 2 weeks. So I just took another one and I had told myself that I was just going to keep the gains for the rest of the year. It's looking like that, guys. It's looking like I'm just going to keep the gains for the rest of the year and then reassess towards January because it just seems like this market's doesn't know where the hell it wants to go right now. It's on a daily kind of shift. And when it's on that daily kind of shift, the only thing to kind of play is the uncertainty. But the truth is that there's no real trend in the market right now. It's Qs holding us up higher, bigger names that are holding us higher. The truth is there's a lot of uncertainty, TLT going lower, war times. It just seems to me like things are all over the place. MicroStrategy, We'll see what happens on that one. MSTR. That's a hard one to play.
Smoke Tuna saying not a great day, but we had fun. Mitch, I don't want to speak for you. I know you seem pretty frustrated after the L earlier. I will say, despite what was going on today, I had fun with our community. So,
and that's all that matters.
Trying to keep a glass half full perspective.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like I said, this stream here is fun. Like at the end of the day, I don't get stressed out about it. Trades going against me. Why is it going against me? I'm not trading the right names. Not listening to myself. If I'd have traded Goldman Sachs today, would it have come back? No, it wouldn't have. So that just goes to show me just not listening to myself. And when you're not listening to yourself, you're clearly going to end up on the wrong side of the table. All right, we'll see what else happens. Like always, you guys can keep up with all the action right here, of course, on Benzinga. And I want you guys, of course, to check out Trade the Pool. I'm going to throw up the link for Trade the Pool. If you guys want to go ahead and check it out, get your own account. This is this link right here. And, of course, I'll also throw up the competition account. But we've already talked about that multiple times. We'll keep talking about that as we get closer towards the competition. Of course, that doesn't start till 2 weeks. That's going to start on the 30th. So stay tuned for that as we get into November. And like always, we'll keep battling, team. Great to have you, Ryan. We'll keep battling like the Blackhawks, like the Dolphins like to do. We got to keep winning, baby. We got to get back to the winning ways, right?
What I will tell you, you're going to see some wins, you're going to see some losses, but what you're not going to see is you're not going to see me give up and fold. And that is the type of strength that we are going to bring to this. We are going to continue to try to get 2% better every day. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the likes. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, guys. And like always, you guys can check out Benzinga Pro. If you guys got a free tool, check it out. And you haven't tried it before, yeah. If you put it in and you're a new member, you can get a 2-week trial right now. Check it out, pro.benzinga.com.
Did you know that nearly all stock price changes of 10% or more result from a single news headline? In fact, a research paper from the Federal Reserve analyzed more than 900,000 news stories and concluded that positive news stories increase stock returns quickly. The key is getting access to breaking news live as it is happening. Benzinga Pro is the only streaming platform available to